So it's the time of the series where we get to stand tall with a hyper, generically themed of course. So in the true fashion of go big or go home, let's get hypered. Hello you guys, welcome back to Nerdolandia, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. I really do appreciate it. I said it last week, lots of content creators are doing content out there and you've chosen to come and spend some time with me, whether it's the first 30 seconds of the video, whether it's the whole thing. Thank you for coming along. This is what we've done so far. We're on episode 3. We've done quite a bit actually in 2 episodes. This is the tickets and turnstiles and stuff, and then this is what we did in the last week. It was a massive area. We are going to talk about this monstrosity in the background, but as I'm recording this, in the comments for the Let's Play video that I've just put out, someone has come up with an absolute gem, and thank you so much for this. This is such a time saver. When you're placing a scenery item that can be resized, if you press and hold C on the keyboard and move your mouse, oh my god, you can resize without having to go through so many menus. It is a game changer. That's just I can't even, and that's important when it comes to workflow. Like, you saw it last week where I started to plop stuff down and I didn't really know what I was doing. This is what you're seeing in action here. Me starting to find my workflow. So the moss here represents where I'm going to extend the lake. The rock is where I'm pretty much certain I'm going to have pathways. And then, of course, I slap down where I want buildings and stuff. And then the space that I need for the transfer track and the space I need for maintenance shed, that sort of stuff. So I'm starting to get a feel for how I want this in. Anyway, let's talk about this coaster, shall we? Because this is the boring stuff. This is, of course, the hyper coaster. We're going in strong. Like, we are going in proper strong with a hyper coaster to to kick stuff off. But I wanted to use the splashdown. Everybody else is doing all of the fun stuff, the fun coasters. You know, the Vekoma launches and the what was the other one? The not multi-dimension, the Ultimax multiverse one, all that sort of stuff. Everyone is doing that. I wanted to do this one because we need a hyper coaster in the park. That's for certain. And do you know what? We're not going for ultra realism here. That time's gonna come. Like, we're not gonna fight over profiling. We're just going for good is good enough here. And my god, the coaster builder does a really good job. And I threw this together in 21 minutes. It would have taken 6 hours easily in Planet Coaster 1. So anyway, we've got the lift hill set to 40 degrees, 10 mile an hour, the usual. And then you've got your first drop. Look at the profiling on that. Yes! I couldn't have done that in Planet Coaster 1. Not as easy as it was here. The smooth is just does so much for you. Parabolic airtime hill, low to the ground, turn, and then into another parabolic airtime hill. Into the turnaround. It's loosely based on Diamondback's actual one. It's not as symmetrical as I want it to be, but that's because I wanted this bit to be lower to the ground. Another parabolic airtime hill, another low to the ground turn, another airtime hill. This you getting the picture. Into the brake run. And then I wanted to have this spiral down. I could have just brought this down to here, but it felt it needed a little bit more track. So down into a bit of a low helix airtime hill. Actually, that's probably more of an ejector airtime hill. This one's more of a floater. This one's more of an ejector into what will eventually be the splashdown, and then into, I don't know whether you'd call this a helix or turnaround or what, and then into the final brake run. I've got no idea what the theme is going to be at the moment. Whatever. Let's just get on with it, shall we? And see what happens. See you in a minute. Well, here we are, right in the middle part of the episode. A little bit awkward because I still don't know if I'm halfway through or not, but I'm starting to do detail work, so that's kind of a bit of an indication of, yeah, I'm probably about right. And we just had the park exodus, and this looks really forlorn now, doesn't it? It looks like there's nothing here. But there is a lot to actually show you because a lot has happened. So we're going to start down here with the coaster. I've started to throw all of this together. I'm going for, it's similar to Diamondback, but also similar to Hydra, similar to the whole like mid-2010s B&M style stations we've got going on. We've got these metal aquatic pieces that are perfect for this. This took far longer than it needed to. Now, I started to do something very similar in the Let's Play video for the station, which you probably saw. So this is just like an iteration of that, but a better iteration of it. This is kind of like, it feels a bit like Lego Technic, doesn't it, when it's when it's put together. I think it's the holes in the beams and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to go for something that felt 2010s futuristic, like, you know, like that whole modern take on it. So that's what I'm going for. We've got a little bit of a mixed match of colours and stuff, and I kind of like it. It's almost like it's aged a little bit. Like these are a little bit paler than the railings along here, and maybe the building is, because it's aged quite poorly and it's been sun bleached and stuff. So yeah, I'm okay with it. When the roof and stuff is on, it's gonna be cool, I think, and it's gonna look all right. So this is the transfer track and the maintenance shed. This transfer track has taken many forms. Getting scaling in Planet Coaster 2 is quite difficult because it's all new and you have to scale the objects that you want, right? But it's actually working okay. Like the railings on here, they're just this beam that you're seeing here rescaled down again to like a small amount, and then of course the girders, they're rescaled from the size that you see here, and so you've got lots to play with and you've got lots of stuff that you need to do, but it's really difficult to get the scale because you can scale too small, as you saw last week with the bins. That's kind of what I did with the transfer track. It started off too big and then it was too small and it all just went horribly wrong. So this is the maintenance shed then. We don't tend to have sheds like this in the UK. This is more an American style design, and it's quite loosely based on Diamondbacks, but yeah, it's what it is. It just needs to be a maintenance shed. We don't really have much we can put in it at the moment. I really do hope that there is like a park manager pack that Frontier are going to do at some point, where they introduce all of the backstage clutter that we're used to having and stuff. So maybe it could come with something like transfer tracks or whatever. Let me know what you think. But yeah, so this is like what I'm doing, and it's just a shed, and I've used the I need to line it up and stuff, but I've used the metal sheeting and whatever for the walls. And then I just used the girders and beams from the aquatic bit. I think it's the aquatic bit. This might actually be the resort bit. I don't know. I don't know the themes yet. I'm making it up as I go along. But anyway, it's in as a pitched roof, and it's looking all right. It's raining again. God, look at the rain. I don't know, by the way, if there's going to be because we are still pre-release when I'm filming this. I don't know if there's going to be a pre-release patch that's going to fix the sky, because it's sunny, but it's absolutely throwing it down. Anyway, I love it though. Look. It just looks so good. So good. Anyway, sorry, we digress. Out the back here, I have put some kind of like shed, just because I wanted to have the staff building here, joining up to the path and stuff. So yeah, that's all done. Queue line then, I've decided to go with the same crazy paving. I still hate these motifs. I really wish we could get rid of them, but it is what it is. Let's not be mad about it. And then I've put the railings in, cattle pen in here. I've noticed the guests come in waves, so it's you know, that's what it is. And then over here, the customer supports are in. Now I'm saying customer supports, right? I'm using this quite loosely because I've got to try and find them now. We don't actually have supports in game. This is all we've got, right? And there is actually I don't know where it is. I think it's under this one. No, that's framework. I don't know where it's gone. Anyway, it's not important. There is an entire supports section, and it's completely empty. So I don't know if that means that we've got stuff coming that we don't have in game yet, or it's going to bug me now. I need to find out where it is. I don't know whether we've got stuff in game or not. Anyway, we've got the log flume ones. That's good enough. So that's what I've done here. We don't have the connectors. We don't have the stuff to use at the moment. If we do get them, then I can swap it out. But what I've done is I've just resized them slightly, or rescaled them slightly, and I've now just put the stuff in. I need to do the chain return and whatever. That's all sort of like stuff that I still need to do. But I'm happy with this. Otherwise, the in-game supports here, they're actually good enough. I just need to sort this out. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've just taken every other one out, because that's about the right distance that you would have. I could probably get away with keeping every third, I think. But you know, it is what it is. But this is good enough. This is pretty much as accurate as you're going to find. And as I said earlier on, we've got plenty of time to fight over realism and profiling and that sort of stuff. But we need the pieces to do it and whatever first. So I'm happy with that. So this is the gift shop then, and I've used a similar style before, but I kind of like doing an iteration of this. Again, I wanted this to feel like it was a bit sort of like early 2000s, mid 2010s. That's quite a long time between, actually. I wanted it to feel like it was 2010s modern, so that's what we're going for here. I'll kit it out with all of the gift shop stuff that I've done, but this is the ride photos. This is just a first iteration of the ride photos. I need to do some detailing and stuff, but I'm happy with it. And I've built myself some printers. I mean, they are not perfect, right? Look at this texture on here, by the way. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. The fact that it puddles and it splashes. And then when you do put a roof on, by the way, it'll stop all the animations and it'll know that it's dry. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so this is the printer, and I've just thrown that together. There's nothing particularly special about it, but actually it looks all right. It's actually probably better than the photocopier I used to use from Theme Maker's Toolkit. But yeah, that's the outside of the gift shop that I wanted to do. Over here, we've got ourselves a nice little food unit. I'm keeping this dead simple. I don't want this to be any more than this. I'm just going to put some signs and stuff up and just be done with it, and then maybe some benches inside just as a seating area. It's supposed to be a grab and go unit. Don't know what I'm going to do with this bit, whether I'm going to be able to kit it out with any stuff, but this is it. That's all it's going to be. Then we've got the chair swing here, and yeah, it's on the side of the key, so I've just started to put the key wall in. I think I'm going to need to go along and raise the key wall up right the way around the lake, but I need to finish the lake first. But I'm continuing the rock around here, and then I've actually just put in a brick wall around this way, and I'm going to put in topiary hedges and stuff along here just to break up the brick a little bit. But otherwise, it's a cattle pen queue with a typical switchback style, and then the metal fencing, and then this little I don't know whether we're going to call this a pergola or a gondola. It's definitely a gondola, whatever it is. Pagoda. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's this anyway, and there's going to be seating and stuff under here just as a bit of shelter. And then we've got this bit here, and we need to talk about this because I'm in a dilemma. You will have noticed that I've left this as straight track, but in game, if I edit this, we do actually have the proper splashdown. And you're probably wondering from the beginning of the episode why I didn't just use that to start with. Well, this is why. Look at the angle of entry there. It's horrible. I mean, like, this would be smooth and whatever, but it's horrible. I hate it. Okay, it's just so steep, and it's just so unnecessary. And yes, it comes with an animation, and it's all perfect, and it's fine, and it's like, I wish we had this concrete texture. Frontier, please. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. It screams of the same splashdown we've got on the Mac coasters and stuff. So I need to sleep on it to know whether I'm going to just do a special effects splashdown or if I'm going to use the in-game splashdown. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to detail all around here. This area feels like it needs something, but I'm not doing that this episode. I'm not interested in that. I don't know what's coming at the back here, but you'll spot though that I have put a train in, so the station is just placeholder at the moment, but this is where the track is, and it's going to come alongside the coaster here, and then it's going to come alongside here to whatever is at the back here, but I don't know what that's going to be. That's future me's problem. So there you go. That's where we're at the moment. Let me just come out of the coaster menu. There we go, and one more. That's where we're at the moment. I'm going to carry on building. I'll see you in a minute. Guys, I promise I don't keep choosing to record when it rains in the game. It just rains a lot. It's a little bit like Zoo. But do you know what? Even though it's filled with bugs and the sun's still out, the lighting in this is actually quite nice, and it gives a little bit of an ambience to it, so we'll just go with it. Anyway, our generic part of the park is now completely done, and I'm so chuffed with how this has come out, and some controversial decisions have been made, this one being probably the biggest, right? It's got the custom splashdown, but I have, as you can see, triggered it up at least, so it kind of has a splashdown effect to it at the very minimum. And I mean, I know I can feel the purists amongst you already salivating at the keyboard about how the profiling and stuff on this coaster is wrong. And as I said before, I just want to remind you, we're having fun here. We've got plenty of time to fight over ultra realistic profiling. Let's just do it as we are, right? Let's just leave it. Just leave it. Anyway, this is the area, and I am so chuffed. Like, it's just... oh, it looks so good. Where do we even begin? Probably the station, I think, is the place to start, right? Because this is all kitted out as much as I think we can do. It's got the push points, it's got the baggage hold, it's got the exit signs, all the bins and stuff. We don't have stuff, so I've done as much as I can in here, but I quite like the ambience in here, actually. It's that whole Lego Technic feel, isn't it? Like that exposed steel, and everything's all framework and everything's like that. And I love this little bit here. It's just going to be so gold when it's cold. cold, right? When the wind is blowing, this is not going to be a pleasant station to either work in or stand in. But yeah, I like it in here. I kind of missed the ability to be able to change the textures on the stations. I don't think we can at the moment. I've tried everything. Whatever. And then outside here we've got the queue line. The queue lines come together quite nicely. I've put these sun covers, which actually turn out they're going to be more useful as rain covers. But I've put these covers out, and these ones are lined either side. They don't really offer much shade, do they? I mean, look at the state of it. But on the other side of the queue, which is the other side of this tree, I've actually staggered them in a bit of a checkerboard pattern, and it gives a little bit more shade. However, I have also put the extra tree in to give it that extra bit of shade, so that, yeah, it's cool. I kind of wish that we got bigger queues for our rides, but I know with the 6,000 guest cap and whatever, it's just not going to happen, right? And the way that they've coded the game to pretty much only attract the number of people that can run on the trains that you've got, it makes design sense. It really does. So this is the maintenance area. Then this is, again, it's just representative of what it needs to be. And then inside here is just stuff. I'm choosing again to leave it empty until we get the clutter type stuff. I could start cluttering out, but it's going to be a bit repetitive. I've already started to use it, so I've decided to just leave it for a minute, and I will come back and do it later on. So flowers and foliage and that sort of stuff. I like how this area has come together. I'm taking quite a few cues from Canada's Wonderland, Kings Island, Cedar Point, Carowinds as well, with this idea of like dirty type, as in, and I don't mean dirty as in like unclean, I mean dirty as in dirt, type of stuff along the path outline here, and then the foliage and whatever on the back. I don't know where I saw this actually, I think it's Canada's Wonderland. I like this, no, actually it might have been King's Island by Diamondback. Anyway, there's a row of trees that obscures the view of some stuff. I kind of like that as an idea, so I've just put those in, made them different sizes and stuff, so it looks like it's grown, and I'm here for it actually. It kind of serves quite a decent purpose, because by the time you get to here, you're actually obscured by the other bits of foliage that's in front anyway, so it's all, it all works out quite nicely. And I could have used a solid fence, but chain link fencing is cheaper. So we've got double fencing here. So we've got I call it the zoo fence. We should stop calling it that because it's a Planet Coaster 2 fence. But we've got the wooden fence anyway with the mesh, and then we've also got the topiary bush on the back side of that. And then we've just got different bits, right? So we've got grass here. I love how it puddles here. Like, I just love it. Look at it. I love it. I haven't even changed the terrain to make it do that. It just does that when you terrain paint, and it just naturally does it. But I just love how it puddles. Oh, yes. Sorry, anyway. So you've got this open bit of grass here, and then you've got the overgrowth and whatever elsewhere. I just like that hefty mix of stuff. And then you've got what would probably be a bit more manicured gardens down here. I am certainly not Mike Sheets or N7, same guy, but I certainly am not going to be doing beautiful gardens, as you can tell from this monstrosity, but they're just there and they do what they need to do. Central Island then has got a central island. Again, this is the bit that I love, like this dry bit underneath the tree and the puddle behind. They've done a brilliant job with the ambience of rain. They really have, and I'd say it's very zoo, isn't it? But I love it. Like, I just love. So the gift shop then, I have finished off. Of course, we've got the whole idea of water as windows and that sort of stuff. And then inside, I am already spamming around the gift shop stuff that is out there. I think a lot of you have found it on the workshop by now. So if that's fine, go ahead and use it. Like, that's what it's there for. If you didn't know, I've put this on the workshop, so you can go and see it. If you just search for gift shop stuff, I think is the title, and you'll be able to see it. Ride photos then, I've just kept that as it is. Exactly the same situation. I don't have enough stuff to clutter it out with, or at least enough decent stuff to clutter it out with. I could just keep spamming the same gift shop stuff, but it gets spammy. So I've just decided to hold my horses for a minute and just be done with it. So the exit ramp, I quite like this. When I was putting it in, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. I couldn't really make it a thing. I can't get rid of these bollards, by the way, even if I've got add supports unticked on the on the path painter, it still puts them in, so there's something going on there. But anyway, I've put these custom ones in, and I've put the custom rails on. I quite like it, actually, now it's in. It just makes sense. I still love this queue. It's just so Cedar Point, isn't it? Like, I love it. So then we've got our sushi place, Something Fishy. I love it. Inside, there's nothing done, by the way. It's just, I keep saying this a lot, right? I'm leaving it. But, I mean, on the outside, it looks absolutely fine. Because it's a coffee place as well. Fish and coffee are two smells you don't want to put together, are they? That's just going to be gross. So I've just done the outside bit, and I quite like it. It feels cool. It feels all right, especially out there when the lighting and the windows and stuff are in. It's decent. And then outside here, we've just got the seating area, and that's all happy, and it's all sitting there. And then of course you've got the foliage. I did want to put trees in here, but it enclosed the area too much, and so I thought, nah, you're all right. Let's let's leave that. And then this bit here, I said originally I wanted it undercover, but actually when I did cover it up, it didn't feel right. It felt like there was too much covered here, so I actually just ended up making it just open and having it open lattice, and I think this works better than it did originally, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick with it. A couple of changes here. So I've just changed the not terrain texture, the path texture along this bit, and then of course as I said I've put the or as I said I was going to, should I say, I've put the topiary hedges around here because it just creates a double barrier. It just gives it a little bit of life. It gives it a little bit of a personality down here. Quick ride sign. Oh, by the way, none of the coasters are named, so feel free to put your suggestions in the comments and we'll come back and do the votes and stuff. So you've got the wooden coaster, you've got the hyper coaster. Neither have got names, so suggest away, you lot. Over to you. This is what it looks like then across the lake. So I have just finished off all of the lining along here. I've tweaked the path slightly. Something needs to come in here, though. Definitely. And I think it's going to be the Enterprise, the Collider. I think that's what that needs, but that's future me's problem, because that's, yeah, down to whatever. So from this side, this is what the Splashdown looks like. Love it. As I said before, there's a couple of bits of profiling. Like this bit here is a bit jank, and this bit over here is a bit jank, and I think there's a bit over there that's a bit jank, but it's fine. I'm happy with it. I'll live with it. Over here, however, I've managed to get this coaster working. Hooray! This isn't going to be next episode though, because now I've got it working and I've managed to do some riding and stuff. I don't like it. I like the layout. The layout is pretty much as I want the layout to be. It's too tight. It's too fast. It needs some work. It needs some love. So it needs to expand a little bit. I think, yeah, it needs to come out this way. I'm going to sort it off camera. But next week, we're going to do something here instead. It's going to be another coaster, but we're going to do something here instead. So anyway, this is how it looks from the top. Guys, as always, thank you. Oh, no, wait. I need to show you something else. Oh, my God. I can't believe I nearly forgot. I can't believe I nearly forgot, and that it's now not going to be worth it. Catwalk clutter. I've done some catwalk clutter. So we've got some electric fences. Well, no, we're not trying to kill guests. Electric cabinets and stuff. And then I've just put the floodlights and stuff along the catwalks, and then they go up the lift hill, and then you've got the. I'm all distracted now because I've just blown this all out of proportion. They're just electric cabinets, that's all it is. Anyway, I've done that anyway. That's some extra bits that I've put in terms of realism. So thank you for getting to this part of the episode. I really do appreciate it. We're going to go for a ride in a minute. But of course, have a good week. I will speak to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.